Oh, you got a countdown now.
Yeah. All right, looks like we're live. Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. We are back with our galactic updates as much as we can. So, thank you for being here, everyone that's watching live or recorded. Oops, now I got a feedback. Okay, let me see here. There we go. I am here with my good friend Diane. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Sharon.
How's it going?
Fast and Furious.
Right? It's that kind of summer, isn't it? It's
Well, I was just reading that Neptune went retrograde, and it affects us. It affects us all. Me, it's great. My
mm,
husband,
mm.
which is not good anyway. So
So it's a double whammy. Is what you're saying.
yeah, for a lot of people, yeah, I was reading through the whole jargon, but um, I don't know anything about retrograde Neptune because I'm not an astrologer. I dabbled, you know. I can tell you about the moon and the sun, and that's about it. Oh, rising signs, but I can't read someone's. The thing with astrology is that there's so many. Hi, Christine. There's so many things going on because of these not other planets that they have discovered that has to be brought into the equation as well.
Hello, Christine. Good to see you. It's been a little while. So I pulled up Neptune retrograde. Let me see what this says, what our AI friend has to say that gathered from other websites. Neptune retrograde in 2025 began on July 4th and will last until December 10th. This period encourages introspection, helping individuals confront illusions and reassess their dreams and aspirations, particularly in the context of personal identity and relationships. Okay, but what are the symptoms
The
of?
truth will be revealed.
Yeah, there you go. So it's a good time for revelation, which we're going through anyway. So, zodiac sign impacts are Aries, focus on redefining self image and authenticity. Taurus, uncover hidden fears and engage in healing practices. Gemini, what is? Oh my gosh, my phone thinks I'm talking to it.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I've had that happen. As a matter of fact, it picked up the neighbor across 2 doors down. He was yelling at his kid.
Oh wow.
My phone picked it up.
So for Gemini, reassess friendships and social circles for authenticity. Cancer, reevaluate career paths and long term goals. Okay, so it says this retrograde is a powerful opportunity for growth, urging individuals to embrace their true selves and let go of what no longer serves, which is good advice for all the time. But I guess this Neptune is a pretty big planetary planet.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why December 10th is your birthday, Christine. Oh, wow. Okay. I guess that's
Oh, you're a Sag.
so. Huh?
I have a son that's a Sag.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not an astrologer either, but I do know that the planets affect us. The alignments and the cosmic alignments do affect us definitely.
And there was a big one not too long ago where the seven planets were in a row.
Yeah, I love that.
And there's all these sunstorms that are going on.
Okay, so if yeah, sunstorms. You talking about solar flares,
Yeah.
that kind of thing? Yeah, um, that helps. I don't. It helps to bring up even more um, of the revelations we're talking about here. Bring the dark to the light. So it's pretty intense times for sure.
Which in my backyard, every day I have seen an abundance of dragonflies, which bring dragonflies. Dragonflies are truth sayers. They bring the truth in, and so I just keep looking at them, thinking, "Wow, things are happening right and left."
Yeah, it's really good to be aware of the alignments and connecting with nature and what nature tells us. We used to be like that. We just forgot with the modern world. So I'm so happy that we're doing these types of shows and helping all of us to connect in that way. Like tomorrow night is the full moon. We're doing a full moon show. Hopefully you can make that one, Diane. And yeah, and everyone that's watching, it's the buck moon in Capricorn, I believe, is where it's aligning. So tonight, though, we're talking about galactic updates and experiences. And I would like to share, first of all, for those that are new that don't know us, I am Sharon Sananda Kumara, and I brought this channel to the public Ascension Gateway so that we could all gather and talk about things that are near and dear to me, which are the ascension process, the awakening. And I am the author of the book Awakened Soul, based on my near-death experience in 2001, where I was met by Christ, who is a metaphysical teacher, and my journey afterwards, and how I healed tremendously from lots of traumas, stemming all the way back to the galactic wars. And most of us do not have memories of that. Diane, I know you do somewhat, right?
I do. I died on a grid line, and with the war in the heavens, and I had dreams when I was a little kid, and I never told anybody. I never even told my parents.
Yeah.
And they had to put me back together in order for me to survive. They put a girlfriend of mine back together. I don't know how she died, but they put her together, and she has one brown eye and one blue eye, and she's always carried that through her lifetime.
Mm, wow. So
Yeah.
it's, you talk about the war in the heavens. Is that similar to the galactic wars or the electrical wars? Or
This is the one where Lucifer, we created Lucifer. Actually, he's on the same lineage, the same tree as Jesus. He is the counterbalance. And this is in level of 16, I think, dimension 16. What happened was when we created him, he was beautiful. I mean, absolutely the most gorgeous creation, and we loved him dearly. I know I have feedback. And and the
I don't hear
problem,
it.
yeah, and the problem is that he this was the very first time we ever saw jealousy, envy, and greed. And he brought this in. We when we were living on Maldek and the planets, we were pure love. We didn't have arguments. We didn't have fights. We were pure love. And he got jealous of people because he it's kind of like mirror mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all. that is was created to show you what happened way back when. All of these nursery rhymes are to get us back in the past, things that happened. And
Okay. Did you
what
turn down? Excuse me, just one second, Diane. Did you turn your volume down? Uh,
it's really weird because I've never had this happen before. Okay.
yeah.
All right. How's that?
Let us
That-
know, Christy.
It's still got feedback.
You can still hear it. Hmm. Okay. Well, keep going.
Well, let me see this audio here. It says echo cancellation, but there's an echo. Okay, so what happened is that he became jealous and envious, and he wanted to be the fairest of all. He was afraid that someone was going to be better than him, more beautiful. So he created strife, and he got other beings to go with him, and they called it Lucifer's army. And they went around the universe, and what happened is they started exploding planets. They realized that they could do this, and in essence, it killed a lot of beings. They annihilated a lot of beings. And some of these planets don't exist.
Mm.
Pluto was a landing was a landing like it would be like a ship where you land planes. It was a land instead of a planet. That's where they landed their spaceships. The problem is that when he blew it up, it went like this.
Mm.
Now it's on its side, and it's like two sides. This where it was like this before. All of these planets existed. People there, they loved that. And what happened was is that when the things started going really, really bad and people started dying, I was on this grid line from Maldek to planet Earth. And I don't know whether I was going back or I don't know where I was turning or going back to and from what planet. I don't know. But
Okay.
it was in between Maldek and the Earth.
Okay.
I had this dream as a child, very young, that it was a soft, pillowy, I was laying on like a cloud, and all of a sudden it turned into like it's like when coal burns, it turns into just like not ash, because it's bituminous and it's hard, but yet it's soft. It puts out heat, and that's what happened. And I became that. And I
Mm.
would wake up. I mean, I can actually feel that right now if I wanted to, but I'm not going to get into that because it is so horrendous. They got me and they put me together, and they saved a lot of people. What happened was War in the Heavens really, really was going. We knew we had to go somewhere else. Planets were going to be destroyed. So we saved as many people as we could. They put them in ships. Everybody has a, a ship color. I I have four. the colors are for. But I am from the turquoise family, so that is always going to be my Christ colors, my space brother colors, and and my own color, turquoise. But then there's other three. And when you become enlightened and ascend, you get more. And it's all about tones, color and tones. And the thing is that when they put all these people in these ships, we couldn't save everybody because there weren't enough ships. So we had to leave some of our friends and family behind. And we carry that to this day. And that's that memory, that soul memory that we have when we leave our loved ones. And it was so horrible that they put us to sleep for 1,000,000 years before we came to planet Earth, because the trauma would have destroyed us. So when we came to the planet Earth, it was gel-like, and yes, it was flesh, but as it came down in dimensions, it expanded. But what they did was, because the holodeck blew up, it is the central sun now. And those solar flares, that is the nuclear problem that is going on that on the sun. And they took part of that mold and put it into the center of the earth, which gives us our gravity. And so it's a remembrance of where we came from. Every single thing you deal with every day is some remembrance of where we came from and who we actually are.
Sure. Fascinating. Wow. Yeah. My memories are a little different. I don't remember any war in the heavens, but I just remember the galactic wars where we came from the Lyran system. I and many, 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 many others, because of Draco reptilians. Yeah,
Yeah,
chasing us out there, taking over planets. So I do remember that, and
right.
I remember leaving, and it was very traumatic, like you talked about, where leaving our home planet, leaving people that behind, leaving beings, and also leaving communities, things like that. Whoever could make it out, that there was a lot that were killed. But yeah, those are my memories of coming to this star system from, and it was very sad and very traumatic. And then we went to the Pleiades and also Earth. And I remember that the planet blowing up, Marduk blowing up, but it didn't just all of a sudden blow up.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't blow up on its own. But yeah, it was pretty traumatic times. We've gone through this so many times, different types of resets, I guess you could say, right? And that's what
Yeah.
yeah. I wanted to share tonight how uh, a little talk about disclosure, because we're all like, when's disclosure coming? When's disclosure coming? And we a lot of us expect it to come from the government, and I don't believe that's going to happen anyway. I've always said we are the disclosure. We are the ones, and that's what I've been told many, many, many times. Our peeps, our star family, uh, sent us here for what we agreed to come here for, to be the disclosure, and because it's not going to come from the predators that have enslaved people, humans in this system. So I'd still believe that it's going to happen in my lifetime, in our lifetime. I still believe that. It's a little, I mean, it's happening, right? As we speak, it's happening. When you mention something about UFOs or life on other planets, people don't roll their eyes like they used to.
That's true. That's true. It's beginning to resonate with them.
Hmm. Yeah.
They're, I guess they're letting themselves feel more like they're a little more awake.
Well, yeah, not only that, but I think that if you're paying attention, there's a lot of people that have seen anomalies in the sky that they can't explain it. They may not have anyone to talk to about it, and that's what I love about our support groups and things like this, because they don't know who to talk to, and they don't want anybody to think they're crazy or dismiss it when you know whatever you saw or whatever you experienced, whether it be in your house or in somewhere else, is not normal, and it's something that people don't want to talk about. First of all, because of fear and fear of what people will think about them. So it takes a lot of courage to talk about these types of things, and that's why I have the support group here in the Portland area. If anyone's in the area, um, we meet once a month. So,
Not
mm,
only that, that's fascinating, and everyone learns a lot
mm, yeah,
of different things.
it's a good group, and we do support each other. So it's not
And no
me.
judgment.
No judgment. No, not allowed. No judgment. Judgment is not allowed. No eye rolling. No, no snickering. No, nothing like that. Not allowed. But I
A
do
lot
want
of
to share
wows.
a lot of wows. Yeah, totally. And it helps people know that they're not alone. But I do want to share some experiences that I had 20 something years ago that were were confirmed by a couple of books that I just finished listening to, which were Michael Sala's books, and he has an insider named JP who is Army and has gone on many missions off planet as well as on planet, where he has been in contact with extraterrestrials. He's been on ships. He's been to the moon. He's been to other moons and been on underground, under the ocean ships. Whoops, we lost you there for a second.
I lost you.
But you're back. All right. So anyway, in the book, I would like to share that, uh, and this is if people who have experiences. A lot of times, when you get confirmation on them, it's really really nice and helps you realize that you're not so crazy after all. He wrote about JP. Michael Sala wrote about JP's experience, which is on his channel where he shared it, uh, where he went on a mission to the Moon series, where there were pyramids above ground and underground. Underneath, there were underground pyramids, I believe, and records like Akashic records or crystal uh, crystal. There were crystal pyramids, and there was record halls there. That was, he said, was amazing and beautiful. Well,
Well, it was a planet.
it
It
was,
was.
yeah, it was the series, the Moon series. No, wait, was it series? Um, no, it wasn't Ceres. I'm sorry. It was one of the moons off of Jupiter, I think.
Well, all the moons at Jupiter are were also planets, but
Mhm. But my
those are
point is that I had an out of body experience where I was taken. My group and I, out of body group, were taken. Uh, not taken, but we made an intention to visit one of the moons of Jupiter. And what are the Ganymede, yes, okay. And when we went on that trip, I went to the moon in an out of body experience, and guess what I saw? I saw pyramids. I was in a pyramid. They had at the cap. He didn't say anything about this, but the cap part of the pyramids were different animals. I saw different animals. I remember very distinctly seeing a frog on one of them, and uh, I didn't realize I was underground, but I saw all these different pyramids, and there was a voice with me taking me through the record area, and pulling out these slides of different planets, and he showed me Earth. And I remember distinctly that there was a caricature of Mickey Mouse on the Earth slide, and he said we call that Disneyland or something like that. Yeah, it was we call it Disneyland. So I had that experience like 8 years ago, 10 years ago, and I read about it in JP's book or hear about it. So I'm like, yes, I just have to tell people that their experiences aren't that crazy. So he went, yeah. So he went to that moon and saw all that, which was really cool. Um, hey, Stephanie. And
I still
so another one that he shared in his book that confirmed my experiences when I have reality shifts on the ships quite a bit, I'll see myself as a different type of extraterrestrial. Many times this has happened. JP described when he was on a mission and he met with Nordic beings, human beings, Nordics. They went inside their ship to go on a mission with them. They called the army people to go on a mission with them. They came out and uh, they were different beings. They were the same being, but they were different. They were more. They were not so much extraterrestrial. They're more human. That was it. They looked just like anybody here. They had done something on the ship to change the way they looked. Do you remember the Star Trek episodes where when they would go on a planet? I think it's I think it was Star Trek Next Generation or the one after. I'm not sure. Where they go onto their planet and they change their body to look like the beings on that planet. I think in
let's
pretty much all of them they do that.
Yeah, ascended masters can change their body at will, can be anything.
Well, no, I know, but I'm talking about 3D kind of, these
Yeah.
types of, yeah, beings. We can all do that in the higher planes, yes, of course. But I'm talking about how this is technology that we have here that they were using, that these beings were using. We have them too. And so what he described confirmed my experience of being in physical reality where I am an extraterrestrial being, and I knew that I had changed my appearance for that mission or whatever it is. So it's not just Star Trek stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's reality.
It's reality. Yeah, totally.
Well, you do know the moon has a hole in the center,
Yeah, Elena Denon talks about that. Um,
and that hole is occupied.
you talk about our moon?
Yeah, I had an experience on Haleakala in Maui, and you can't, you're not supposed to look at the sun,
No.
but I actually, Haleakala is a volcano, and everyone goes up there to experience the sun rising. So you go up there in the dark and it's freezing. You got to take a coat and a blanket. So you're up there and the sun starts rising and the moon starts waning. But what I saw was the moon and the sun combining. They reached out and met and became one. I
That's
literally, and I've got a witness to this because he stayed with me. I never burned my eyes that entire time. And I was explaining to him what I was seeing. And I saw the moon with the hole in it and the sun combined, male meets female.
wow. Yeah. Hmm.
And I don't know whether you ever saw the movie Lady Hawk with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh
And
yeah, that was one of my favorite movies for a long time.
yeah, me too. But
It's heartbreaking.
it's
Yeah.
similar when they finally, the moon meets the sun. And when I left, I said to myself, wow, I wasn't even wearing dark glasses. I was watching this sun and the moon. My eyes should have been burned. I should have had, but so I was in some other realm. I must have been. And I've never told this story before except for the person that was with me. I was with a group of like-minded people and they all left and I for some reason I chose to stay because I could see what was happening. They were meeting each other.
You know, it's interesting you say that, Diane. A few years back, when I was traveling a lot more in the higher planes, um, I would meet with a my mate. Well, I mean, we all have mates in the higher planes, right? We're all they're higher frequencies of our higher frequency mates. But he would always say to me, "I love you as intensely as the moon loves the sun."
Yeah, that's nice.
So I
That.
never heard anyone say anything like that ex- before you. How that was a relationship with the moon and the sun that was so intense that they're never together, like Lady Hawk, right?
Yeah,
I mean, there's an
yeah.
eclipse. There's the eclipse, but they're not. They're not joined, and so that's really cool.
Yeah, I used to see that movie over and over and over. Anytime it was on, I would watch it.
Yeah, it's a really good movie if you haven't seen it. It's very romantic and heartbreaking at the same time.
Yeah.
But it kind of it carries the energy of having this intense love with someone and never and not being able to get there to reach them, not being able to reach that person, just like someone in the higher planes, that
I
is
came
right
to the
there.
I came to the understanding that male and female, we are male and female. And
Hmm.
when we come together, we are one. And
Right.
that's the achieving ascension when we recognize that we are one. And that's the ascension process. But that is really kind of hard to do because you have to love that darkness just like you love the goodness in yourself. And you have to see that you have that darkness. But that's the other thing. When we came to this planet, we agreed we did not want to annihilate Lucifer and it, which they're two different entities. We did not want to do that. So, what we decided to do as a collective consciousness in the the round table, so to speak, we decided that we would take on that part of Lucifer, that greed, envy, jealousy, bring it back into the light. So therefore, you have to try the love part, which is you. And when we bring that back, supposedly in our minds, we we are hoping and wishing and praying that that he will be able to see the light. But it's taken millions and millions of years to get as far as we have. And like my teacher Zanzuna says, well, there's 144 and counting, which there's a lot of them. There's probably maybe 200,000 now, but that's 200,000 out of millions of people.
Yeah, and we can't really have light without dark.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and we chose. This is the way how I see it. We chose to drop down into this realm to experience what we don't experience in the higher realms, because we don't have that that duality of dark and light in the higher realms. In the light realms doesn't mean that we're not always growing and things like that, but from what I understand is that we don't have that contrast, that big contrast like we have here. And we chose we chose to experience that big contrast because we've never experienced it before. And and of course we're here and we're thinking, what was I thinking? While we're here experiencing the really tough challenges, right? And we've been here for quite a while, so
To say the least.
it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, is Diane was saying, going back to galactic disclosure and stuff like that, there's a lot of infighting in the galactic community, which
Yeah.
is kind of par for the course with anything this important and this big, that there's going to be a lot of manipulation around information. So always use your discernment with whoever, if you're following anybody, including us, of course, but just use your own discernment and your own experiences. And if you don't have some kind of community, if you have experiences and don't have some kind of community, be sure and try to find one so you're not alone, because that's really important. I find it's helped saved my life, my my peace of mind for sure. Yeah. Um, now, as far as,
Yeah. Otherwise, you become part of the world, and that, and you become sad and
mhm,
depressed and wonder what happened. So
yeah, it's liberating. It really is to find people who are experiencing strange experiences similar to yours, and having someone that you can talk to, even if they aren't similar, that you can talk to them, or you can share any way that you can, um, without without worrying about someone laughing at you or calling you crazy, that kind of thing. That's it's liberating. It's really important too. Keep losing Diane.
well, hello.
Lost you again. Okay,
It
that's all right.
weather.
What's that?
It could be the weather.
It. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Who knows? When you talk about this stuff, things get all kind of crazy.
Yeah, a
Where
lot
do
of
you find
electricity.
these people? Stephanie asks. Where do you find these people? Well, you're looking at a couple of them. So I forget where do you live? You can look up meetups. You can look at support groups. There's online support groups. And where are you, Stephanie? Are you in Idaho? I can't remember where you are. Yeah, you can look for these groups. If you're local, I have a group. I'm starting an online group with my new community at the Kumara Academy. Kumara Academy
But
has a
and
new.
here's the thing, she can always join your academy no matter where she is.
Yeah, totally. Because yeah, I'm starting to have online support groups for people, and I think that's where I met Stephanie. It was at, if this is the Stephanie I'm thinking of, at the online group. Um, yeah. Now, in person, you can look up on Meetup or something like that, or MoveOn, or any kind of group like that.
Duluth. Okay.
Duluth. Oh, you moved to Minnesota. That's right.
So here's the
Okay.
thing. What I did, I mean, I asked God for help because I was very, I had no one to talk to except my mom, but she went off on some other tangent. And I knew that wasn't for me. So what happened was some guy showed up in my life and showed me that I have this teacher. And that led me to another teacher. And I went to this. Has anybody ever heard of Benjamin Crumb? I never had.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
I went to a speech at Portland State. It was a it was just a talk he was giving. Somebody told me to go, so I went by myself, thinking, okay. And he said, there is going to be somebody who's going to come to.
Oh, we lost you again. Okay, so Stephanie, I met you in Beaverton in person. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Well, in terms of, yes, you can go to my Kumara Academy and join the academy, the community there. And we're going to start next month, August. This month we have in person. In August, we're going to have online support groups for experiencers, and so you can find that there. And I'll be sending out, if you're, be sure and be on my email list. I'll send out all the notifications for all that. You can join the email list there as well. Yeah, definitely. And we lost Diane again. Okay. So here she is.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, but the whole
You're like a bunny rabbit today. Okay.
is that God will send you people.
Yes.
That's the whole thing. I asked and I kept asking. And then when I came off of this commune that I went to, I had no one and I didn't know where to go. And I started meditating, meditating, meditating. And I said, somebody has to come into my life. And ba-bam, I had another teacher.
Yeah, it comes. Sooner or later, it will come. Hey, um, build it and they will come.
Right. And the thing is that if you just join even one class, those people will help you get in touch with yourself. And that's what you're in search of, who you are.
Yeah, it's building a community is really important. It really is. Being a part of a community that like-minded community. It's important when you have stuff like that that's going on and you don't understand it or anything, or you're on the spiritual path. Uh, it's important because when you are on the spiritual path, it's not easy. It's not an easy path, definitely. The material world is a lot easier, let me tell you. And ignoring what we really need to do and be, or I should say, remembering who we are and what we're all about, which is love. That's it. So we have to peel away the layers, so we can get to the truth of who we are. And that's when I started waking up to my galactic heritage. When Yeshua Christ was helping me peel away those layers, and it was not easy, yeah, at all.
Yeah,
If you're on this path, know that you're not alone.
yeah. Just take
A lot of people are waking up.
even one class, and you will feel so much better about yourself. It will give you the
Yes.
confidence. It will give you the joy of knowing that there are other people just like you out there are, who are on a path to find out who they are. And the joy and the heartache can be shared by
Yes, because we're all going through it in some way or some form. We all there's no skipping this spiritual path. You can't skip it.
And what's really sad are those people that aren't awake yet. And you see they struggle. And even though they look happy, they're not inside. They're looking for something and they don't know what it is. And if you take a class, you find out it's you. You are looking for you and the love that you have for yourself. And other people support you.
Yeah, that's good, Diane. It is all of us. We're all one, right? So Christ teaches us we are all one, different parts of the one. Um, so whenever I look at someone like Diane or someone here, I'm looking at a part of myself, right?
We all
Anyway,
have the same DNA. We different but the same. We are individuals, but yet we are connected.
I look at it as kind of like our body is the Godhead, right? And each part of our body, I mean, we look at our body as one, but we have trillions of cells that make up this Godhead, our body, who we are, trillions. And
The temple.
the temple, there you go. But they make up the whole. And yeah, it makes a lot more sense to me that way. They are separate in their own way, but also part of the whole, like the ocean.
I have a twin soul and it started dimensional 14 is where we are twin souls. She is kind of crazy. I mean, really mentally off.
Crazier than you?
Oh no, she really is mentally off.
Oh,
And
oh,
I'm fun crazy.
crazier than me?
You're fun crazy. So what happened was is that I was thinking that if she's my twin soul, I must be like her. And my teacher said, you are an individual and you are separate. You are connected, but you are separate. And I went, oh, okay, I get it. I'm all
Same
right.
thing. Same thing. Yep.
So we're all connected, but we're all different
Hmm.
individual, how we feel, how we think, but we're all connected. We have one mother.
When we realize this dream that we're dreaming now, this illusion that we've created for ourselves, then realize that this is a dream, everything starts to make sense and fall into place. And it takes some doing to get there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's hard to imagine that, like our dream time, when we're in our dream time, we're dreaming that just like we're dreaming this dream. We're Since this is such a low frequency, and this is what I understand, a lower frequency than our dreams in the higher planes, then it seems so much more real because it's that much heavier, I guess you could say, less dense or more dense. We move slower. We are The physical reality seems physical, but it's really not what we call physical.
Oh, hey. Now, this is an interesting thing.
What?
Christine said to Stephanie to find your tribe. You are giving a class on Starseed, where you're from.
Mm-hmm. Find your
That
tribe.
would be a really good class for her to join.
Yes. Christine, nothing feels real to me anymore. Everyone seems weird. But
Well,
we're all weird.
they are. Just accept it.
Everyone's weird in their own way, right?
Yeah.
Find your tribe stuff. You just sound like a Charlie Brown teacher to the muckle. Womp, womp, womp. Who are you talking to? Oh, okay.
Christine's talking to Stephanie. They're having
Oh,
a
gotcha.
That's why I said,
Saying we're sounding like the Charlie Brown teacher.
no. So the thing is that this class would show you, Stephanie, where you're from. And when you find out that you are part of just a lot of people that are really, then you feel right at home.
Yeah,
Christine,
we
I
are.
can't relate anymore. You're like a soulmate to me. I mean, if I ever saw you, I'd probably hug you to death.
No, she's
No,
not us.
oh,
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's right, Christine. Because when we see the world through the eyes of higher frequency, then we realize that this is just a creation. It's a dream. It's a matrix uh, projection. It is hard to relate to the lower frequency projections. I get that, right? Stephanie, you're the self-proclaimed weirdest. Okay, there's some who might want
weirdos
to
accepted.
leave, but yeah, it's true. And all of it is good. All of it.
The thing is that those people that aren't awake yet, it's really sad because they're going to have to repeat it again. But that's not really the thing that I think is sad. I think it's because what they are missing out of life itself is really the saddest part. because they could be enjoying themselves more. Instead, they're looking for like a drug, an alcohol, uh, a, a, something from uh, another person, or outside stimulus. Like, what was it? Somebody said, I can't remember, it was Christine or Stephanie, but to go inside and to find out that you are a beautiful person is scary, because all you can think of how about the wrong decisions that you've made through life. But that's part of life. Everybody makes wrong. I mean,
I don't
I
know if they're wrong as much as just
right
more
at the time,
challenging. More challenging. Yeah,
right,
right at the time.
right at
Yeah,
the time.
more wrong or more challenging.
Yeah, I thought I was playing the game, but I wasn't even in the right ballpark. So the decisions that I've made, I thought were right at the time, but in essence, they proved to be wrong. But I have to stop and think that I am who today from all of those things that I did led up to the reality of me today. And that's,
Yeah. And Christ teaches me that there are no wrong decisions, there's only decisions. And what we unfortunately what we do is we beat ourselves up if we make a decision that doesn't turn out the way we would hope it would be. And those are the ones we learn from the most, of course. Um, but what he teaches me is, or helps me remember, as we're all remembering, that there really is not a wrong decision, just decision that is more challenging than another decision. So
yeah.
I stopped beating myself up about stuff like that as much as possible, because he said that's one of the worst things we can do to ourselves is keep looking back and saying, "Gosh, I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done that," and that keeps us in a low frequency. And also, when it comes to people who like we aren't what we say aren't awake yet, he also showed me that, or helped me remember that, from my point of view, is everyone around us is at a certain frequency or certain, I guess you'd call grade level. If we look at this planet as a school, and not everyone's at this in the same grade, so someone who is still maybe in victimhood or something like that uh, is someone who doesn't have as much experience, perhaps, as someone who might be more what we call aware of, awake or aware of the spiritual path, or knowing that there really isn't anything that we haven't chosen for ourselves, that type of thing, and that we're not victims. Everything is a everything is a choice, and we choose challenging experiences for our growth. So, like a second grader or a third or fourth grader wouldn't, beat up a second grader because they didn't know what a fourth grader knows. Does that make sense? They don't have the experience to see things, or see things the way a fourth grader would. They don't have the tools or the experience. So that helps me a lot.
And also, they bring in the factor of fear, the fear
Yeah,
factor.
right. And fear is judgment is fear. All of that is fear. Anger is fear. Everything. Fear is the opposite of love, not hate. Fear, because there's only two things. There's only one thing that's real, which of course is love. And the opposite of love is fear. And you're right. And that's what feeds all of our lower emotions.
You know, my my teacher said, you know, we have the same problem in the higher realms, the ascended masters. And he said, what we do is, if plan A doesn't work, there's always plan B. And if plan B doesn't work, there's always plan C. It might take a million years, it's no big deal.
Right. You talk about decisions. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's how we learn. And, there's, our souls are infinite. So there's not any time limit on anything. And people who, any person who might not uh, have the tools to ascend in this lifetime, um, there's plenty of options for them, plenty of options for them to reincarnate, maybe on a different planet or a different system or in a different realm. It doesn't matter because we're not leaving. No one's left behind, I should say. Uh,
Living in the present moment is the highest vibration. Hmm. I,
well,
I might say it a little differently. The highest vibration is meditation on this planet.
I believe the highest vibration is gratitude.
So
Gratitude is what lifts us up more than anything. It's always to be in a state of gratitude. Uh, yeah, that's what I believe. In the present moment, yes, that does keep us in a. I mean, you can be basically going through a really rough time and be in the present moment. It doesn't mean it's a high vibration.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Uh, yeah. So being in the this is where I learned from a plant medicine journey with grandfather peyote. Only did it once. It was a really amazing journey years ago, and this is what he taught me. When I sat there with grandfather and I was in the present moment, I felt supported and loved and held by grandfather in that journey. When I thought about my past, I started feeling nauseous and my vibrate I mean you could say my vibration went down, but my thoughts and my body, I felt sad, I felt depressed, that type of feeling. When I was thinking about the future, worrying basically about the future or something like that, then I started feeling anxious and panicky. So he would show me that the present moment, first of all, is the only thing that's real, right? Doesn't mean we can't plan our future and things like that and project our future so that we are in the now then. But worrying about the future and also beating ourselves up with the past, that kind of thing, and keeping grudges is what keeps us anchored in lower frequency emotions. So, Stephanie, I would answer that the only thing that is real, really, is the the now. There is no past or future. It's the, the now is the only thing that's really real. You have to be present to meditate. Um, well, you get there. Yeah, yeah. Meditation. It's not really a goal. I believe it's mm, the way I see it. How do you see it, Diane?
I think it's getting rid of the problems of the world that you've had, plus connecting to your higher self. And when you connect to your higher self, that's when you're in the now. But you can say, I'm in the now, and that doesn't mean you're in the now. It's a double edged sword now that I think about it. Um, I think that meditating is reaching the higher realms plus your higher self. Your higher self will teach you all about you and where you're going with that. It's also a way of getting rid of thoughts that aren't really great about yourself, fears. Um, it's getting in touch with your higher self, because your higher self will teach you that your lower self is not where it's at. And all those whole thoughts that you have about you or someone, because those thoughts about somebody else are really just you. It's a projection, um, that your higher self will say that it's just baggage, and you want to travel light in your meditation.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I see meditation. I barely use the word meditation that much anymore. I call it reflection and my devotion time. And so, how I see it is unplugging from the outside world and going within and nurturing my inner world, my inner self. Because, like Diane was saying, I know that this is a projection of what I have going on within me. Everything's a projection of what we have going on within us, and I want to make sure that my inner world is clean, cleaned up, is bright as can be, as I can make it. And anytime something challenging comes along, I journal it out, I release it, and give it to God, give it to Christ as much as I can. Doesn't mean I don't have worries and stuff like that or challenges, but I work really hard to get rid of that baggage, like you were saying, Diane, and spending time unplugging from the noise of the outside world is how I stay sane. And there's many ways you can do that. I do it by going within and just listening to binaural beats, something or some kind of relaxing music that helps me drop into that state where I'm connecting to the real me, like your higher self, like Diane was saying. And any thoughts that come, I just let them go. If I get inspiration, I write it down and just go back in. I just let them go, and just let them go. If I start going on a tangent, if my mind starts going on a tangent, I just bring it back. So I don't believe that it's a goal. I believe that it's just a way of finding our true selves, connecting with our true selves, and unplugging from the the out the matrix, the projections. Yeah, because this is what's real, not this.
And the ascended masters meditate around the clock, and they meditate like odd hours, 3, 9, 6, every 3 hours. There's somebody meditating. They meditate for hours. And and I was told that they're constantly learning about themselves as well. So when they started out on level whatever it was, I don't even know. I only know 22. And there's some levels I will never achieve because I'm not. I'm not from. I'm
Never say never.
I'm not from Father One and Mother One, the highest. So the thing is that your connection is always learning, and it's creating everything. Space is God realized. And you want to fill that space with God. And you are God.
Yeah. Yes, we are. We're God expressing. We're love expressing. God is love. We are love. We are God expressing through these bodies, through these communication devices. as Christ tells us. These are communication devices. The law of one calls these also our communication device. Our body is a communication device. My galactic peeps would call this body my ship. Take care of your ship. That we're transporting certain things on your ship today. You know, this is their ship.
Okay, but no baggage.
Yeah. So you're going to be delivering this message somewhere uh, on your ship. They called my body my ship. So yeah, it's important to take care of our ships, our communication devices. I mean, when you think about it, our body is a ship, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
vehicle. We call it a vehicle.
yeah, it's a temple, and you have to take care of it because
Yeah.
what's inside is the marrow. It's the God essence, Christ consciousness.
Christine says, depending on my goal, I set my intention and meditate accordingly. Yeah, nice. Yeah, we can definitely meditate on certain intentions for sure, and we have guided meditations that help us with focus. I feel like guided meditations are so helpful for me with focus, and a lot of people too. And then you can have, of course, the quiet meditation where you're going within. Um, I want to share another plant medicine journey talking about ships that I had where this was with psilocybin. And there was a group of us. We journeyed with a shaman, a female shaman. And I looked around the room and the walls disappeared. And what I saw was the silver walls, metal silver walls of a ship. I knew I was on a ship. I was not in this house. The walls of the house were gone, and I could see silver walls of a ship. It was kind of disconcerting and crazy at the same time.
Hmm.
So it made me think, oh, you know what? Are we on the holodeck?
Yeah,
Are we on the holodeck on the ship? Is that what's going on? And now I'm just seeing the psilocybin help me see through the, the holodeck, the hologram.
I constantly drive the ship like in Star Wars where Han's Solo is driving, going through but there's always people with me.
Yeah,
He was by himself. I always have people with me, and I'm driving the ship. And when I saw that Star Wars thing years ago, I mean years ago, I was like, all right, this is my whole dream.
nice. Yeah, I've had reality shifts, out of body experiences where I'm driving the ship. One was right before the drone, when we were seeing all the drones in the sky. Remember that back in March or something?
Mhm.
No, it was before January. It was last year, I think. I had one right before that where I was on a ship. I was wearing a uniform and I was sitting in, I thought it was like a simulator or something like that. And I was have you seen those movies, those sci-fi movies where people are in what might be a simulator, but it's actually real? It looks they're driving things, or they have all the equipment,
I
but they're
actually have
really,
video games like that too for
yeah,
3
yeah. Okay. So, and I was covered up with a hood or something like that, and I was driving something like a drone. I thought in the experience something like that, and then I came. I was something would light up on the screen really bright. I don't know if I shot it or what, but it lit up really bright. And then I came out of it, and I was talking to my superior officer, and we were talking about how I did, almost like it was a test or something. And I, I feel like I didn't do so well from his reaction, but
I'm trying.
I know, I think it was like my first time or something. I don't know. And then it wasn't long after that when all those drones showed up in the sky. It was really crazy. And I even remember in that experience, I was in there for quite a while in that reality shift, going to the 10 forward or whatever you want to call it, where everyone hangs out and, drinks and eats or whatever all together. And I'm telling someone that I'm in the military. So I knew that I had a military uniform on. It was blue and white, dark blue and white. And I'm telling someone I'm in the military because they were asking me what I was doing and where I was and that kind of thing. It was crazy. So, uh, and I also remember flying my own ship really fast, really fast, and then in the night skies and the cosmos, super fast. Probably why I like uh, muscle cars.
Speed is the word. Speed.
Yeah, and I was by myself in that ship.
Ah,
Yeah. But I have a lot of memories about that too, Diane, of being taught how to drive a ship or shown how to drive a certain ship and driving them, flying them. Pretty cool.
well,
So,
I will tell you one thing. I'll tell you something that I think I've said this before, but a lot of people don't know it. All of those standing circle stones, Stonehenge, they are spaceship landings. When the Earth was first created, they used to land there. And we would dress up in brown robes and go greet our family and friends. And that's what those are all about. And we'd
which,
have a feast and we'd meditate and we'd have a good time. Yay, our family tomorrow Island. But that's what
yeah,
they're
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. The Nazca lines I've heard are like landing strips and stuff like that, showing the spaceship drivers where to land and things like that. Yeah, I don't doubt it. We we regressed a lot on this planet, so but we're coming out of it. We're waking up.
we are.
Who would like a card before we end? I can pull a card for anyone that would like a card from the Lyran deck. Do you have any cards out, Diane?
I have several. And I'm
Okay.
going to take, which one is this? Ah, okay. It's a fairy. They're fairies.
Okay. So I'm going to pull a card for the collective. All right. From the Lyran beings. Oh, nice. Infinite Paths, number 12.
Oh, wow. Christ consciousness.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Options: time travel, quantum, freedom to choose. Kind of what we were talking about.
Yeah, turquoise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, golden light.
1 and 2 is 3. That's for the collective, for everyone here as a group and those that are watching. All right.
Nice. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card over the collective too. And then going. This is the Blue Angel Oracle. I actually two cards stuck together. Oh wow, I've pulled this one before. That's the
Oh,
golden.
that's pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
I
golden
remember
river.
when you pulled it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but this one came along with it. It's called synchrotron. Look at the planets. See the planets?
Mm-hmm.
And the
Wow.
person down here is on Earth, looking up. And this is the Godhead going up through the planets. This is really cool. And that
Yeah.
number is a 39, which breaks down to 5. Okay, so this, I believe, this is the Labyrinth Excellus, which is a 9, which
Okay,
means,
339 breaks down to 12 to 3.
yeah, which is a 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is breaks down to a 4. It's no, it's a 9. 45. It's a
Lots of
9. It's an ending and a triple. So we've got the river, the golden river, following through the turquoise on the side, and it's wandering, going everywhere it wants. And then we come to this one, the Godhead.
and that's for the collective, right?
Yes, both of them. Isn't
That's
that
pretty
interesting?
profound.
They stuck. They stuck together.
That's profound.
I had no choice.
And I pulled infinite paths.
Yeah, and that's what this is leading to. This is the path,
Wow.
the golden light.
Wow.
This is the Godhead. Cool.
That is very cool. Infinite paths to the gold. We're on the golden road,
To
golden street,
enlightenment.
golden road to the Godhead, to Christ consciousness, to our higher self, whatever we want to call it, to God, to Father, Mother. All right, who's first? Christine. I'll pull a card for Christine. Hmm. All right, Christine. I got Central Heart. It's beautiful. Number 11. Oh, master number.
Wow, and you can't change that.
No, partnership, soulmate, clarity, heart guides. Hmm. Looks like you've got some love coming up, or have it now.
You
It
know,
could be
it's
with,
really funny. I have something to add to that.
yeah.
Because
Good.
as you were pulling a card, I was just kind of shuffling and I said, okay, she's going to pull one for Christine. And out pops this.
What?
This one says theater. And it's got a head skull here. And it breaks down to it's a 38. It breaks down to 11.
Uh,
So it goes along with the one that you got.
yeah.
Yeah. See, it's a lotus. Mine is to tell you that all the world is a stage and you are the main star in it. It's all about you. Love and happiness. Go ahead, Sharon. I know you got something to add to that.
No, I was just looking at Christine says she has a lotus tattoo. That's awesome.
Yeah, see, the lotus is it's grounded, but it opens up to the Godhead.
Well, the theme is the message is central heart. So your heart, and I know you're very Christine, very heart centered, and the galactic core is the heart of all our expansive universe. This says situated in the center of all galaxies. The heart of the central heart arrives when the poles of love are seeking to carry you to far off lands. Have you been traveling in your dream time or your out of bodies? Your heart is in its essence is multidimensional nature. What? Your heart is in its essence is multidimensional nature and has bigger plans than your mind can imagine for you at this time. This card is guiding for a possible U-turn or change of strategy if not following the heart at this moment, which I know you do. So it sounds like what I'm getting, thousand petal lotus of the crown chakra. Yeah. What I'm getting is connect to your love within in the higher planes, if you haven't already.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's what I've got too.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay. Yes. Hopefully that makes sense. Stephanie is next. Go ahead, Diane.
Okay.
So Christine says the only traveling I have done is moving my residence 3 blocks.
Wow, that's a big move, Christine. How'd you do that?
You
I
know,
hope actually it is a big move. I hope somebody helped you.
moving is always a big deal.
It's
Yeah.
traumatic too. And once it's all done, it's like, what was I thinking? Huh. Okay, those aren't the right cards. Something always pops up. Oh, wow.
Can't wait to hear.
Okay, these are the Blue Angel Oracle, and this one is Ancient of Days.
Oh, nice.
You are an old soul, and you've been traveling and searching, and you are actually you're going home. You found yourself. You may not spend this lifetime, but you have found where you are to be. Your goal is to find out who you are. Your other goal is, after you find that out, is ascension. This is fire and light. And the fire is going to give you the motivation to go on. Didn't you say you were a Sagittarius?
That was
No,
Christine's.
that was Christine.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. Okay, so
I think.
yeah, it was Christine. So this one says Ancient of Days. You've been here before, trying to find yourself. You this card says you will find it. You may have to go through some fire to get there. or create it yourself? You just learned about Lemuria. Okay. Um, you could be from Lemuria. I don't know. I am. Um, but this is a different kind of a card. It's got so many things going on. But the thing is that I got all the rest of these that go with it. And I don't know how to determine them unless I do a spread. And I don't have to do that.
Let me
This
show what I pulled for her at
Oh
the same
great, that
time.
would help me.
Yeah, and it goes along with yours. It's called Galactic Victory, number 44. Another master number, 44. Galactic Victory. Look at that lion, that Lyran.
Yeah.
Uh,
Third eye is really present.
yeah, victory, rebirth, full potential. So I'm getting the same thing that Diane's getting. This is the lifetime that you're pulling it all together and you're saying, okay, I'm getting this done, getting
Yeah.
this done and done here and now. And so, yeah. And you said you just learned about Lemuria. Okay, well, yeah, that's a lot of our heritage. Lemuria, Atlantis. Why we're kind of why we're still here, Atlantis. Anyway, um,
Atlantis, Adam and Eve. Atlantis, Adam, Lemuria, Eve.
so yeah, that's what I got, and I feel like this is for all of us here as well. Um, Galactic Victory, number 44, and I didn't even notice till just now that Christine said that that lotus tattoo card I pulled, was the same color as her tattoo as well.
Which I
Funny.
think is really cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. Okay. So we're in sync. We're all good. All right, peeps. Are we done, Diane?
Yeah, I just don't know what to do with these other cards. I mean, they've got a message here, but I can't figure it out. I mean, maybe I should just
Yes, Christine, it does. A lion does look like your icon. Yeah, very similar. I love these cards. Did I tell you I met a Lyran being on a ship?
You did.
Another ship story.
That was cool.
Yeah, I was not happy with the way they were driving the ship. We were driving into a mountain, and I didn't realize that it was a mirage, that it was a mountain, and we drove through it. I was yelling, "Stop!" And then when we went inside the hangar, I was yelling that as me, Sharon, inside the hangar. It was a Lyran being that was driving the ship. And when he got off the ship, he kissed me on the forehead, like, everything's okay. You're fine. You're fine. There was other people on the ship too. So he was like the driver, like you would have been on your ship with it, like a passenger ship kind of thing. Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, you didn't tell
I
that whole
could feel his
story. You just said that you were on the
whiskers.
ship.
Yeah, I could feel his whiskers and his
Oh,
mouth.
cool.
I could feel all that. And I felt it more than I saw him, but I did see him. He was very large. It was
They
like
all are large.
the
They're
way I
all
saw him was not detailed, but um, yeah, it was awesome. Anyway,
okay, Stephanie. You want me to show you the cards? Okay. let me shuffle them because I put them differently than when I picked. Actually, they fell on the floor. Okay.
Yeah, just hold them up because we got to go. It's getting
First
late.
one is light ship Earth. See the beings down below and the beings in Earth. The next one is Michael Descendant.
Wow.
I mean, it's so bright you can hardly see it, but this is Michael.
Yeah.
And the next one is Shambhala. And the next one is Gateway.
Wow.
But you see what this looks like, this gateway thing? It's real interesting because to me, it looked like a Celtic cross. So I wonder if they brought that somehow back. I don't know. Anyways, definitely. There you go.
A lot of cards there, a lot of messages.
Yeah.
All right, ladies. Thank you, thank you. I do have a course coming up this weekend, Psychic and Mediumship Development, beginner and intermediate, advanced after that. You can get the bundle if you want to join this course. It starts Sunday. So hopefully those that are watching, we'll see you there. And thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Diane, for being here.
Thank you,
As
Sharon,
always.
for having this class.
Yeah,
It
No,
allows us to connect.
definitely. All right, everyone. Mwah. See you next time. Bye bye. Tomorrow or soon we're gonna have the full moon. I think it's Thursday night. Thursday night, full moon.
Oh, thank God. Thursday, I might be able to do it. Tomorrow, it's with it.
Yeah, not tomorrow. Thursday.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Bye bye.
Bye.